Recognize Ms. Lesko, the Vice Chair of this subcommittee, and thank her for chairing for me a few minutes ago for her 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you to all of you for coming here and testifying today. Earlier today, my colleague, Ms. DeGette, said today, and then Biden said recently that border security could be solved if only Congress acted, if only Republicans would work with the Democrats. Well, I would like to remind my friend and colleague that Democrats had total control of the presidency, the Senate, and the House for 2 years and did absolutely nothing to secure the border or any immigration issue. And in fact, I think there wouldn't even be a hearing today if they still had control of the House. The only reason we're having a hearing on border security is because Republicans have a majority in the House, and we care about it because we actually believe that it is a national security crisis and a humanitarian crisis, and we want to try to solve it. So it is not just, as Ms. Castor and Mr. Pallone said, a political issue, an election year issue. This is a real issue, and it is a national security issue. It is a humanitarian crisis for the illegal immigrants themselves. Women are getting raped. They're being sold, kids are being sold into sex slavery. This is a fact. In December of 2023, 302,000 border crossings occurred. That's greater than any time in history. That's greater than the entire population of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in just 1 month. You compare that to just 3 years ago under President Trump in December of 2020, 74,000 crossings. In fiscal year 23, 169 people were caught that we know of that are on the terrorist watch list. In Lukeville, Arizona, the port of entry was just recently closed because all of the people crossing in the Organ Pipe National Monument across the border, and they had to divert the Border Patrol officers over there to control it. And many of them were military-aged men from Africa. This is a concern. So, Mr. Blair, on December 13th, an internal officer safety alert warned CBP agents to be vigilant after the Mexican military seized 10 IEDs near the Tucson, Arizona border sector. Does that concern you?
Yes, ma'am.
Does it concern you that there were 169 illegal immigrants that were caught that were on the terrorist watch list in fiscal year 23?
Yes, ma'am.
Does it concern you that there are thousands of illegal migrants that are coming from countries of interest where people from those countries may want to harm Americans?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Rector, on Saturday, while speaking to reporters on the White House South Lawn, President Biden once again said he doesn't think the situation at the southern border is a crisis. Why do you think President Biden says this? Why do you think he wants open border policies? Do you have any idea?
Well, his policy is to pretend this isn't happening because he doesn't have any answer, because he's generated this problem by basically telling people all across the world that if they come to the southern border, they will be let in and they will be granted residency, and eventually they'll be given U.S. citizenship. He's going to give them access to the welfare system. We talk about amnesty and welfare, but his policies, for example, in Build Back Better, created massive new welfare programs for illegal immigrants. You know, he's saying, come on in. We're going to let you in, and we're going to give you free stuff, and we're going to give you citizenship when you get here. And the American public doesn't agree with that, so he has to pretend it's not really happening.
You know, and the gentleman from the Cato Institute said something to the effect of, oh, well, we need to increase legal migration because it worked. It worked. You know, there was less people coming from those countries when Biden had paroled in the people from the countries, if I'm not correct. But didn't that attract other people from other countries? Because we had 302,000 people coming from all over the world, I think 160 countries. Mr. Rector, what do you think?
Absolutely. The solution by libertarians to illegal immigration is to allow unlimited legal inflows. Everyone can come. And when you do that, when you even talk about doing that, what you generate is more and more people willing to come. And that basically changes the nature of the United States. It alters our sovereignty. But in particular with the current illegals, they're very low skill. They absorb huge amounts of government benefits, contrary to what people suggest. They do pay some taxes, but it's a huge burden on the U.S. taxpayer. And having more of it, legal or illegal, isn't going to be the solution.
And the gentlelady yields back. I appreciate it. Gentlelady, now recognize gentlelady from